Okay guys, let's get into looking at the best CDM build that is on FIFA 22 Pro clubs. Now, important to note a few things with this build. You can use it in fullback, as you can see, and you can play a little bit around with some of the settings of it. So, initially, height-wise, you can probably go down to 5'6" if you want to be even quicker, more agile, but I would say 5'8" is a good place to sit. Now, I haven't actually got this build just from my brain. I've consulted friends, okay? Yes. I've got friends. Crudo, who always plays in centre mid for us in our record clubs where we go 100-0 and plays, CDM, sometimes Cam, has helped me a little bit with this build. And Herfield, who is one of the best 11v11 players to ever do it. The guy plays CB and knows his way around a few pro clubs builds. So he's won everything, as you can see. Literally everything on VPG, if you've heard of it. And there's some important things to note with this build. Perks, initially, looking at them. Precision pass is going to give you a 5-star weak foot, which means you don't have to waste those points in the attributes, which is pretty cool. And I think before we get into perks, we'll start off by looking at the attributes. Now, I'm level 20, so I'm still going to get some skill points to unlock, but I've got about 87 of them right now, and this is where I have allocated them myself. So let's start from the top. Physical, a little bit of stam, a little bit of strength, and you could add those extra skill points down here if you wanted to when you do unlock them. Defending wise, I've maxed everything out except the second sliding tackle, just because I don't tend to slide too much. But again, with the skill points you're going to get when you get to level 21, 22, 23 and all the way up, you could put that in and maximize your defensive stats. Dribbling, we've got a little bit in here, mainly to unlock the Lynx archetype, because obviously this will give you the best agility possible, which when you're playing in centre midfield is so important in 11v11 clubs, as well as low man, really. It gives you the best balance, gives you the better chance of keeping the ball, not falling over when challenged. And in CDM, obviously, you're gonna want to help as much help with that as possible. Now, if you're a skillful player, you could put the skill moves in, but I just haven't got them allocated here because I just feel like they're not a necessity and they don't create the best build, which is what this video is here to do. Here in the passing, we've got short passing, and honestly, this long passing I've just got in because I've got 2 skill points spare at the moment, just from level 20, and I don't really know where else to put them, so the long passing up to there. Nothing in here. Now, usually I'd recommend getting the weak foot, but the precision pass is going to give you a 5-star weak foot, which means you don't have to waste the skill points in free kick accuracy, or I believe this is long shots, which is fantastic. And pace-wise, again, maximized out. We've got the cheetah archetype. I would probably look to get this sprint speed as well, but obviously when we get the relevant skill points, we'll put them in there. The archetypes, of course, I've spoke about cheetah and the Lynx one. Guardian gives you the best overall defensive stats. There's not much else to say. You're going to want that. And the perks, really importantly, physical strength and ball winner. I mean, these just give you the best strength, jumping, tackling, ability, etc. So you're going to want them. And the precision pass, really good one, of course. If you come over to the tab and you see increase the player's normal pass accuracy and speed, and grants players the swerve and flare traits and 5-star weak foot. So actually, these perks, guys, are going to make your build so overpowered. It's going to mean you don't have to put skill points into things that you don't want to get a 5-star weak foot, because obviously you've got the beauty of having the perk. So when I was asking Herfield about why he would put his skill points here, he did say that physical is something he would want to improve when you get a higher level. This is sort of what takes a beating for now, because obviously we don't have those extra skill points. You could even, with the extra skill points, come down here when you get them and put the acrobat on and reaction, stamina, jumping. That could be a very good thing to have on extra archetype, of course. But if you're at level 20 or around that, I would probably look to spread your skill points how I have, and then look to fill out the physical tab a little bit more when you can. Also mentioned that if you are a skillful player, the 5-star skills can be useful to allocate the points into here, because it can get you out of tight spaces. The passing's really dodgy on this FIFA sometimes. Like if you're in a short space, you get crowded, it's really difficult to pass the ball, and maybe a little skill move to get you out of that situation can help. Like we know with FIFA 22, it takes a long time to level on pro clubs. So to maximize your pro, it's going to take you around 500 games, guys. I've played around 300 and something, and I'm not actually very close. And yeah, just to remember, you want to keep your weight at 119, and you can go down to 5'6" if you want to. I maybe play 5'7" just in the middle. It's kind of down to you guys, but obviously 119 pounds is just on the top end of weight for the lowest weight bracket. They work in brackets, so when you go up to 121, you're in a new bracket up to like 145 pounds. So go to 119 pounds. Give this build a go, guys. Let me know how it works for you. And big thank you to Crudo and Herfield, whose links are of course in the description for the help. If you want to watch some good, strong 11-man plays from a defensive perspective, you've got to check these guys out and give them a follow on socials. Definitely they will help you improve. So I've got some clips of Crudo playing for us in the centre mid CDM role, and you can really see how this build works itself on the pitch. It's great, to be honest. The build's actually quite important this year because obviously there's so much variation with having the perks. You can make some simple mistakes like putting a 5-star weak foot in when you can just get a perk that gives you the same thing, right? So some of the passing in this build has taken a bit of a hit, obviously, because we haven't put as many points as we like into passing. A lot of the guys I've played with, not many have mentioned about passing being needed. The passing on this game's quite dodgy anyway, so it would kind of annoy me if I put all my skill points into passing and then like I saw a pass not work that was really simple, but I knew I had allocated like 30 points to it. I'm not saying not to do it, still fairly early on in the game, like obviously we're not 100% sure yet because not many people are max build because, you know, going outside and everything. But for real, like, if you are max build, fair play to you. It seems so long to get there. Like, 400-500 games, it still isn't enough to be max level on FIFA 22 Pro Clubs. You're looking nearer the 600 mark, which is crazy to me. And then on top of that, if you play any, there's an even bigger delay. I mean, my mate Billy, who plays in any for us, has played pretty much the exact same games as me, and it would appear that I'm about 20 to 30 games ahead of him already in terms of skill points and leveling, which is a joke, considering he has probably got better stats than me. So it makes no sense. So yeah, if you don't know about that, if you play in any, you will level slower than someone who plays not in the any position. We don't know why. It's a nice little bug from EA that we just know they will never fix. But yeah, you can see how this build works. I'll try and talk through some of the clips. Picking the ball up, finding easy passes. I mean, to be honest, there's not a lot I can show you from Crudo because, you know, it is what it is. It's a CDM build. It's solid. It gets the ball, plays it up to us, and that's sort of how we play football. We're 31-0 right now, obviously. If you're using a different build, let me know. I just can't see how playing over 5'8" makes much sense. Maybe unless you're marking a big striker, but even then, you know, you're probably not going to win the headers unless you're 6'4" as well, and you don't really want to be that big. So I find this build to be the best one. It has a really good balance of passing, strength, sprint speed, defensive stats, everything in between. And especially once you get to that max level 25 and you allocate those extra skill points that aren't in this video, well, I mean, it's going to be a pretty overpowered build. I mean, I already find in my striker build at the moment at level 20, it's feeling ridiculously strong. Having the 3 archetypes, the 3 perks, and all the skill points. Yeah, I'm not the highest level. It says I'm 86, but I feel like an 88, 89 half the time. So that's kind of a good thing. And you can see the range of passing there. Not a skill point in passing, and you can still find a pass like that. So no complaints from me for the passing in this build. Finishing as well. Look at this tidy little finesse. Jumps across the goal and puts it in. So yeah, if you have enjoyed this video, if you're going to use this build, let me know. If you're using a different build, hit me up in the comment section with what it is. Drop a like on this video to support the content. And as always, this entire channel is just full of, well, every build you could want to find. So if you want to find a cam build, you want to find a striker build, subscribe to the channel down below to make sure you never miss a video from us. You can also find our series down below, a little bit more fun than this, the Race to Division 1, where we're sort of messing around. And yeah, it's worth checking out if you haven't already. Crudo seems to be playing in cam at this point of the game. But yeah, take my word for it, it's a solid build. I hope this video helps you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.